Please help me reach 1,500 subscribers. If this story moves you, support it with a like and share your thoughts in the comments. I read every single one. I wish I could blame the night everything fell apart on confusion, alcohol, or impulse. I wish I could say I didn't know what I was doing. But the truth is far harsher. I was fully aware. There was no sudden temptation, no secret meeting, no dramatic turning point. What happened didn't crash into my life. It slipped in quietly. It started with attention. Not the routine kind that checks in about errands or plans, but the kind that lingers. The kind that asks how you're really feeling. That remembers small details. That notices when something in you has shifted. The kind of attention that makes you feel visible in ways you didn't realize you'd been missing. My boyfriend Mark was a good man. Reliable. Loyal. Steady. He believed love was built through consistency, shared goals, and showing up every day. He thought stability was love's strongest proof. And maybe it is. But somewhere along the way, predictability turned into silence. Comfort became emotional distance. And without realizing it, the foundation of our relationship began to crack. This wasn't about physical attraction. It wasn't desire or lust. It was about feeling understood. His name was Ethan. He wasn't a fantasy or a stranger, just someone I worked with. Ordinary. Present. Someone who listened without planning his response. He noticed when I was tired. When I changed my hair. When something was wrong even before I said it out loud. And slowly, without intention, he became the person I talked to when I couldn't understand myself anymore. Nothing happened suddenly. There was no explosion of feelings. It unfolded naturally, like it had been quietly forming long before I acknowledged it. When I finally told him I had a boyfriend, he didn't pull away. He just nodded and said softly, "I know." That was the moment everything truly broke. What followed wasn't careless or reckless. It was emotional. And when boundaries finally disappeared and I made the worst decision of my life, I felt alive for the first time in months. Then came something heavier than excitement. Shame. When I came home, Mark wrapped his arms around me like he always did. Familiar. Safe. And suddenly unbearable. I was physically there but mentally somewhere else. I didn't tell him the truth, not yet, but something inside me had permanently shifted. Guilt never stays hidden for long. A week later, Mark noticed the smile I tried to suppress. The way my phone was always in my hand. Ethan's name lighting up my screen. He didn't accuse me. He didn't raise his voice. He asked one quiet question. Do I need to worry? That question destroyed me. Not because it was angry, but because it was afraid. And I hadn't earned that fear. I caused it. I told him everything. Not dramatically. Not defensively. Just broken words spilling out between tears. He didn't yell. He didn't insult me. He looked at me like he was trying to understand where pain ends and betrayal begins. Then he asked me to block him. And I said the most damaging words of my life. I can't. It's complicated. In that moment, I didn't understand what I was really saying. Those words weren't about Ethan. They were about me. It's complicated meant I wasn't ready to let go of someone who made me feel seen. It meant I wanted validation more than repair. It meant I had betrayed Mark, and still wasn't choosing him. I watched something disappear from his eyes. Not anger. Not sadness. Effort. He said calmly, "You didn't just betray me. You chose him." Then he walked away. No shouting. No final argument. Just quiet acceptance of a truth he could no longer ignore. The days that followed were unforgiving. Mark never reached out. He didn't ask for explanations or closure. And Ethan didn't stay either. Not out of cruelty, but because no one wants to be someone's unfinished choice. That's when I learned something brutal. You can lose two people at once. One because you broke his trust. The other because you used his attention to fill a void you should have faced yourself. I used to believe emotional connections were harmless. That trust could bend without breaking. That sharing feelings didn't come with consequences. I was wrong. Emotional betrayal isn't softer than physical betrayal. Sometimes it cuts deeper, because what you give away isn't your body. It's your heart. Weeks passed. Then months. Mark left me one final message that still echoes in my mind. I could have forgiven a mistake. I couldn't forgive a choice. Now I sit alone. Not because I'm unworthy of love, but because I failed to recognize it when it was standing right in front of me. I thought love meant intensity, constant attention, emotional highs. But real love is choosing someone even when things feel distant. It's creating emotional safety within a relationship instead of searching for it somewhere else. If I could go back, it wouldn't be to erase the moment I crossed the line. It would be to fix all the moments before it, the moments I ignored, dismissed, and labeled as complicated. Because it was never complicated. I simply didn't choose him. And now he doesn't choose me either.